Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's March 16th. Wow, I remember that perfectly. Yeah. Now, that's a feat because I was up all day trading.
Man.
31st episode. 31st. Who talks like that? Only a guy who grew up in Fullerton, went to Parks Junior High, talks like that. Anyways, 31st episode of Risk On, what may be the greatest show ever about risk. However, we had some risk today to the upside, right?
Yeah, the risk was compounded with the lack of sleep. So, but you know what? Let's put that behind us.
Hey, I'm Todd Ault. This is Jason Bartholomew, my partner. Poker player, Jason is banned from playing blackjack at the M. Is this like like in the Game of Thrones where they get to talk about your titles? Like Master of Dragons and Lady of Dragons and whatever.
House Targaryen.
You're banned from the M.
Yeah, banned from the M
for blackjack.
For playing blackjack too well with a house edge still, about 1% house edge. But if I use my brain properly and engage myself and my thoughts, I can change the odds and make it the odds to the player, and they don't like that.
Hey, we're going to talk about revenge spending later on in the show. And those of you who home gamers, if you know anything about revenge spending, say something on the YouTube, make a comment, because I just heard about revenge spending. We're going to talk to our producer. Maybe we can get him on screen. I don't know if we can do that or not, but we're going to bring up revenge spending. You ever heard of that, revenge spending?
I was kind of getting a little bit of information from Mr. Producer, but I don't know. It's kind of people are pent-up demand. They're frustrated. They're sitting at home. They're locked down, so they're coming out with both guns blazing, looking to spend money and travel, looking to spend money for doing fun things, maybe even get to a baseball game if they let us go to that, stuff like that.
Imagine being up millions on a trade and not being able to sell your stock that you bought in an account at a broker-dealer that you paid for in full. We're going to talk about that later.
This one is so tilting.
This is really sickening, actually.
So tilting, just so you guys don't know, when you go on tilt, it's a poker expression. It's an emotional response when you might play a hand not properly, or somebody makes a good play on you, shows you a bluff, so you get emotionally invested and you go on tilt and you start making like crazy moves that would cost you in the long run. So this is tilting to me.
Oh, wow. A good friend of mine back east, actually a really successful real estate developer and probably one of the most dapper human beings I've met. Now, I've been told that he doesn't pick out his own clothes.
Right.
But Josh would make you believe that he picked out his own clothes, because one time I walked into his house, he's wearing this beautiful blazer. And I'm like, dude, that is amazing looking. He goes, oh, yeah, I got it in Italy. And then, of course, his wife said, no, I picked it out for him. Anyways, look at this. He just showed me that it's live in their car. Their kids are watching it in the back seat.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is that Oliver? Right on, Oliver.
Dude, that is great.
Yeah, he's got 3 beautiful boys. He's a great guy. Actually, we own the hotel with him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, he owns most of it. We're just a little pittance for that hotel. Let's talk about the markets. I got to tell you, I'm frustrated today. Most of you know who follow me that let's go to the screen real quickly. I am long for the company SSY. At one point, it was $7 this morning. Are we on the screen there, Nick? And we're still long the stock. We sold a little bit. It was up at $1.5. I think we had a few $1 million gain in there, but I wasn't able to sell all of it because of some technical difficulties at a broker-dealer. But that stuff happens. I really think the government should, you can come off that screen, Nick. Hope the government changes the rules about your long stock, forcing a broker-dealer to post up collateral to trade your stock. And with that kind of volatility of 151%, they're going to add an extra premium or VAR charge or volatility charge. And I would say to you, this is complete nonsense this is what happened with GameStop.
Same thing.
It's complete nonsense. You're long the stock in your account. You paid for it. You should be able to sell it.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Let's get to the market real quick.
All right, fine. It looks like the FOMC meeting started today. Jerome Powell talking about interest rates. Investors were concerned. The Dow was actually down 128. There was not a lot of confidence today. 32,824. NASDAQ was actually the NASDAQ scraped out a win, plus 11 points, 13,471. The S&P was down 6, 39,62. Bitcoin has been a little soft the last 2 days. I saw it go back down to 54. It was at 56.3 at the time we came on air. Ethereum just under 1,800. And oil was down 73 cents to 64.66. As far as gold and silver, gold was flat, 17.30, and silver was $26, copper 4.05. So
I feel like the market is just nowhere. Doesn't
Yeah.
it feel that way to you?
it's blah.
It's like blah.
Yeah.
Like blah. There's a few things to own that are interesting, but there's a little blah going on.
Really, there is.
And I you get up towards that May, that whole analogy, sell in May and go away. You've heard that before.
Yep.
It feels like we're prepping for that a little bit.
I mean, March and April are historically just bad months for the market, generally speaking. But listen, we got this huge infusion of capital with the stimulus coming in.
Sure.
Well, some of that will be allocated to the markets, I'm sure.
But I think that there's a to me there's a prep for something to break, right? Because you're kind of going nowhere.
Yeah.
And you got this resurgence. Now let me say, I know this is a show obviously about risk. I will tell you my opinion of what's happening in Las Vegas. They're opening it up. Okay, it's packed. I mean, now this is a relative term. I don't know how you feel about this.
Yeah.
But last night we went to, where'd we go to? Bugsy and Myers? Bugsy and Myers. There's a restaurant called Bugsy and Myers.
That's in Bally's?
No, it was in Flamingo.
Flamingo, okay.
But we had a tomahawk ribeye that was 60 days aged.
Yeah.
The place was great. The food was great. The service was great. Thanks, Mickey, by the way.
Wow, nice.
Mickey from Bugsy and Myers. But the place was packed. I mean, Skylar, aren't you getting the impression that when I go downstairs at the Caesars everywhere, there's a lot of people.
Every week there's more people.
And they're letting them in.
So-
I mean, it's not, you can feel, and I'm hearing things like they're thinking about a 10% GDP growth for a quarter.
Yeah.
Because that's maybe what Josh was talking about, our producer,
Yeah.
about revenge spending.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're referring to, because there is a huge amount of people showing up. I know it's St. Patrick's Day in a few days, give people a reason to eat bad food.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it is? Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day? What do you like? What's good there? I mean, what do they serve on St. Patrick's Day? Potatoes wrapped in nothing?
Yeah.
God, does anyone have cabbage? It's just nasty. Hey, thanks for what was this?
Oh, yeah. If they're watching the show,
Watch
say
and
hi.
say hi in the chat. That's what Josh says. Okay, please do that. Roland. Oh, come on, Roland. Look at Roland. Amazing show. I love the producer. I bet you do, buddy. I bet you do. That's nice.
Hey, so
what do you want to cover today?
Well, in reference to Las Vegas, this is supposed to be one of the busiest times of the year because it's March Madness.
Uh-huh.
And we need to get our March Madness contest together also.
We got to make sure we post that bracket. Don't we need to post it tomorrow?
What is tomorrow?
Wait, when do we need to post this bracket, Josh?
The first games are Friday. There's play-in games, so we would need to know like Friday, Thursday.
Everyone would have to have their email in for the bracket by when?
I would say Thursday. We're during the show. I would say that would be the
Thursday?
cut. Yeah.
The cutoff by the end of the day?
Thursday, we'll have a link in the description on Thursday.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So everybody,
They fill out their bracket, and then they send it in, and then they're ready to go.
yeah,
On Thursday during the show, we'll post up the actual money we're going to give away.
Okay, and they're going to email their bracket to the producer. He's going to leave his email there, so we can. do
Well,
that.
he'll leave a email.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be his email.
Well,
but he'll leave a email.
the risk on email.
Yeah, the risk
but
on
yeah,
email.
Vegas is packed. Like I can get a really good indication of how busy the city is just because I look across the street from where I live and I can see the number of hotel rooms that are illuminated. So Monday
You
through,
live in a nice place.
yeah, it's got a nice view.
There's a lot of famous people there.
Yeah, there is.
Isn't Beyonce your neighbor?
No,
No, it's not Beyonce. It's some other producer.
there are
right?
some people in there.
But you have a producer that's your neighbor, right?
Yeah, I
Some
don't-
like singer.
yeah, I
You
don't
don't
want
want to call her out.
Yeah, I don't want to call these people out.
You got a couple baseball players in there too.
There's
right?
there's hockey players, football players.
Right.
There's tons of people in there.
It's a high rise.
Yeah, but the view is perfect. You can see how many people are staying at the Vidara, at the Aria, at the Bellagio. Mm-hmm. And man, this past weekend I got some pictures. It was packed. So
Hey, so I want to go over what I did today with. I don't think you're going to be a fan of what I did. You might be. You actually told me to do it. I saw it later in a text. Can we pull up the screen real quick? So I'll tell you what I did today about rocket companies. I sold the entire position. I covered the calls. So is it on the screen? Why does it look smaller?
I don't know. I was wondering that.
What? That's strange to me. What does it look like? Not. How do you make it bigger? Oh, well,
Yeah, there we
that
go.
makes sense.
Perfect. 2 fingers.
Oh, there you go. So it opened this morning. It headed towards. Excuse me, I'm a sneeze.
I'm definitely on the coffee drip today. I apologize.
Excuse me. It opened this morning around. It was headed towards 27. It was about 26 and some change. And to me, it felt like to me that the stock had gotten heavy.
Yeah.
The follow through wasn't as high. And I eventually said, you know what? If it's going to clip 26, I'm going to sell the whole position. And I sold part of it at 26 and a half, a little bit more at 26 and a quarter because we had 20,000 shares. I eventually got rid of all of it. And then I had seller's remorse, and at the end of the day, at 25, I bought back only 1,000 shares. Why did I buy back 1,000 shares? Because I don't want to forget it.
Yeah.
I always forget trades, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I love rocket companies. I'm a fan of this trade. But I covered the call. So remember, I wrote a call out in April. Because the stock was down to around 25 and some change, I was able to buy the call back. And I bought the call back, and I basically just flushed my position.
There's a bunch of calls Friday actually for this too, right? I forget what the strike
Yeah, but
was.
those are all gone.
They're gone.
I covered them all.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Cool.
So I sold my for full disclosure, we sold our rocket companies today. We bought back 1,000 only at 25.
right.
I sold some other positions too.
Somebody's asking what happened to SNDL. The entire market went south, and the entire wheat sector went south with it, including Tilray.
But hey, actually, that's our friend in New York.
Oh,
that's
okay,
the
cool.
hotel owner.
Nice.
I'm confused here. SNDL that's the Sundial,
Yeah, it's Sundial.
right?
They got like $1 billion.
Billion shares outstanding.
Yeah, one actually more.
Right. I'm confused though. Earlier this morning, you were kind of a big fan, were you not?
I was last night.
Yeah.
Going into today.
What happened to the stock today?
Actually, if you were to buy last night and sell today early, you would have made 6 to 8%. But it just everything went south, except for, I mean, even tech stocks did sell off a little bit. These FOMC meetings are going to increase volatility. I mean, everybody's a little bit concerned about interest rates. You know, whenever the Fed meets, and they meet 8 times a year, you want to embrace the volatility and the variance during those days. And it's not for the faint of
It was
heart.
down 10 cents today.
Yeah.
High of the day $1.75, low of the day $1.45 for Sundial.
They've
How
got
do you handicap that? Is
They've
it
got
just,
a $1 billion.
is just momentum?
No, they have $1 billion shelf in place too. So
Yeah, but how do you handicap it? They're raising money like drunken sailors.
Yeah.
They got 1.6 billion shares outstanding.
Right.
$2.5 billion market cap.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get your arms around something like that?
They're like a hyper exclusive like marijuana. They have like one really nice facility in either Alberta. I think it's in Alberta.
But is this a momentum stock? You just trade the momentum?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a meme stock too. Reddit gets a hold of it, but also naked shorting and then a lot of shorts pile into this thing
GameStop
too.
down 16 today. Savvy back. Savvy's holding in there after that big run.
Yeah.
What do you think of GameStop? You see what I'm saying? You don't probably have a lot to say about it, do you?
No, I don't trade GameStop.
No, but you don't have a lot to say about GameStop.
What is there to say? They didn't raise money. It's blah. Like I don't know.
So my point is that goes back to my point about it's blah. There's
Yeah.
not much to say.
No.
It's blah on Tesla. It's blah on. You were all over Volkswagen in this
I was.
whole.
It's not blah on QS.
Right. So let's talk about QS.
QuantumScape.
Because you clearly have. I'm going to bring that up. Give me a second, Nick. What do you sent me something about what's going on with Volkswagen?
They're a huge investor in QuantumScape,
They are.
and they're looking.
Now, that was down.
Yeah.
You can pull it up on the screen now, Nick. It was down about $5 today. But what do you like about
yeah,
it?
intraday, I think it was up a little bit.
What do you like about
the
it?
solid state battery.
But I've heard they said they're not going to make any money forever.
I don't know.
Like
about
it's
that.
like 4 or 5 years. 2024.
Yeah, well,
maybe 3
eventually
years.
the liquid. I think this is going to be the play. Like I think solid state batteries are going to be moving in. And
Now I'm gonna put you on the spot because
Yeah.
I don't know what's the difference between the batteries. And if you don't know, I got it.
well, no, it's
fine.
just the liquid, the lithium. It's just a different way. It's a different battery type. I haven't really dug into it, but according to Volkswagen, it's just more efficient and it has a better range.
And Volkswagen's an investor in QuantumScape.
Yeah, they have a large investment.
Do you know how much it is?
I would have to look. I would guess somewhere between 300 to 600 million if I was guessing.
Right. You're just guessing out of
Yeah.
thin air.
Yeah, no, I think it's around that range.
You mean you remember hearing about
No,
it?
I did look at it. I looked
Right.
at it last night.
Those of you who follow me, or the show know that we are long NTN buzz time. And I'm going to walk you through this trade. Oh, let's see if I do this right here. What did I just do here? I think I screwed that up. Let's see if we do it. Help me out here.
I had it queued up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Take your finger off.
No, but now I got another screen down there.
Oh,
I messed the whole thing up. Yeah, sorry.
All right, whatever.
I'm a rookie. There we go.
Boom. Fast acting, tenactin.
All right, cool.
2 fingers. There you go.
All right, 2 fingers.
Beautiful.
All right, so what you don't see last night, and I'm gonna walk through this. Hey, before we get started on NTN Buzz Time, Jason and I are excited about risk-ons on the radio now. We're in Orange County and Los Angeles. KEIB 1150, and you can find us there. Also, we're on the iHeartRadio app.
Yes.
Every single Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. But on iHeartRadio, we're still on the same time, but you can kind of find us anywhere, right? I mean, it's a global app.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one good thing about technology. You get to hear us rant about stupid stuff.
Okay,
I'm just
so,
kind of.
So I want you to be a witness to this because I feel like the audience is going to be like, what?
And the reason I'm just scrolling through this stuff is Kodak just had earnings, so I'm just trying to find that.
Okay, so let's look at this real quickly. So Nick, pull up the screen on NTN Buzz Time. Is it on there? Okay. So I'm going to show you. Look, are you looking?
I'm looking.
Okay. My cost right here, $557.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And my cost over here on E-Trade is, let's bring it up here, NTN. See that? $6.
I see it.
Now, may you ask yourself, how did I get $6? Now, when we look at this chart left to right, the whole day you don't see $6, right? Where was it in the pre-market? Last night, Jason, right after the market closed, we did our show.
Yep.
We were waiting for the vote. Jason runs into my meeting with Brad Lee and says, it's $7. And we get excited and we start selling it. Now, you're probably saying, how did you sell it? Well, we sold it in the aftermarket, and I had a problem with the broker-dealer that had it that couldn't sell that much. They sold $60,000 for me and said, we can't sell anymore. I'm like, oh, God.
It's unreal.
You're killing me. And I had about 195,000 shares because I had sold 100,000 on Friday to hedge my bet. So I had about 195,000 left.
Right.
It's at $7. I immediately go to E-Trade and IB because I'm long at another brokerage firm, and I short it.
Yep.
And I short it, and I short it, and I short it. And so I shorted it on an average of about $6. Now, this is important to understand. I wasn't really short because I was long somewhere else. So I was really hedging, right?
Yeah.
So I sold in IB short, and I was long somewhere else, so it didn't matter what happened. I locked in my profit.
Exactly.
And when it went down to $4 today on IB at $3.93, I covered a lot of it on IB.
Yeah.
Right? Still long in the other account. So this was a home run trade for me. I actually really liked the gaming asset, but the merger passed, and they're obviously going to merge with that Brooklyn
Immunotherapy.
Yeah, something like Brooklyn Therapeutics or something like
Yeah.
that.
NTN Gaming with Game Time with
Right. That trade. So
biotech.
this trade's kind of over for me.
Yeah.
But effectively, that's what happened on this trade. And why do I bring this up? If you get really sophisticated in your trading, and I'm not suggesting that my trading is that sophisticated, but you can have other apps. And one of the things I like to do is I have a Weeble account for my personal stuff, and I have a Robinhood account for my personal stuff. So sometimes I trade at different times. Like Weeble lets you trade at 1 a.m. Pacific time, whereas Robinhood, for some reason, which I consider to be nefarious.
We know why.
We know why, don't
Yeah.
we? They don't let you trade till 6 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
And I think that's nonsense. So I'd be checking out Weeble if I were you as an alternative to Robinhood if you want to be active in the pre-market for those home gamers who want to be out there at 1 a.m. like Jason and I, which we probably can't continue at this pace.
It's going to be hard. We need to figure something out because the sleeping schedule right now is starting to wear on us.
Yeah. Maybe there could be like a switch off where you cover one night, I cover another or
I
something.
think we might have to do that.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Because it seems like it's game on at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
man,
it
for
is,
us.
for
It's
sure.
game on, and people know this around the country. People I do business with see. I mean, I'm sure Josh is like, "Hey, you sent me something at 2 a.m." I'm like, "Yes, I was up thinking." which is not always a good idea, by the way.
So they're having a call on earnings for Kodak right now. I wish I could attend it, but I cannot. So if anybody's interested, they're having the earnings call.
Is the
right
stock
now.
up in the aftermarket?
The stock is down in the aftermarket.
How hard?
It looks like it's down 8%, but
Ouch.
it's very fluid because it's earnings right now. So
All right, let's go to ammo. POW for you home gamers. POWW. How do I feel about this trade today? We're long 8. We have this coming out of our ears, literally. We own it. We are full to the brim with rim, whatever. For you old timers, that is not an example of. It's not a good example of. It's not a good slogan. We own a ton of it. And what did you think about the pullback?
I just think it was healthy because of the market.
Let me tell you why I thought that it was healthy. Let me go to the 1 day, but here's the 5 day. You can see that spike up there. They priced it at $5. You priced $100 million or 20 million shares at $5.
It's closed too.
And today's closing today.
Yeah.
So today's closing day. So some people who got closed their shares today, if you're up $1 and some change, that's 20, 21, 22%. You might be selling some.
Yep.
It's absorbing the selling pressure well. I'm massively bullish on ammo.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
am massively bullish on POWW. Now, for you guys at home or on the radio, that's not an endorsement. Just because I'm bullish does not mean you should buy. In fact, I'm not a licensed professional. I'm not a broker. I literally am the executive chairman of a public company, but I am not a licensed broker. I'm not allowed to give advice like that. This is for entertainment purposes. This is us telling you what we're doing. We never tell you anything that we're not doing. And it's all verifiable. So I'm sure someday someone will knock on my door and say, hey, did you really do that? And yes, we did. So
Right.
what's your thoughts on Powell before we hang up here?
Somebody made a good point. They said, how can you be pro-Second Amendment and against this company? You can't. And you know how many people are pro-Second Amendment in this country?
Right.
I mean, probably up 100 million.
But forgetting the emotional side of it or
Yeah.
the political side of it,
Yeah.
they have a big backlog.
Yep.
They have $100 million in new cash.
200 million backlog.
Right. $100 million in new cash.
Right.
Building a new facility and have an LOI for gunbroker.com. What are we waiting for? Gunbroker.com.
I think you could see it possibly this week.
Do you think?
Yeah. The offering's
Do you have
closed
inside
now.
information?
I do not.
Because
and
I'll buy more.
No, I do not.
No, I wouldn't buy more. That'd be illegal.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that.
We do not have any inside
Okay, so we're
information.
long ammo, and if anyone has any comments, hey, I'd love to hear from anybody if you're long POWW. If you got any insight you can share with us, love to hear it. We'll call you out on the screen and talk about your thoughts. Why do you have CleanSpark up? You brought CleanSpark up about 20 times to me today.
Leave me alone. It's $23. I told you to buy it at $22.25.
Let's pull. Nick, did you pull that up? Okay, so what's the story? It's down $4. Okay, in a 5 day period, it's down $5.
Okay.
In a 1 day period, it's down. Oh, holy Toledo! Down $6.66. The sign of the devil.
Did you not buy any?
Why is it up? Why is it down?
Why didn't you buy any?
Just tell me why is it up or why it's down.
Dude, you see how strong it is? It's the same thing that happened to POW.
What do they do?
And you loaded POW.
What do they do?
They raise money, 200 million at 22.
Okay, but can you tell me what they do? I don't even know them.
You don't know what they do?
No, I'm not as smart as you.
Oh, all right, whatever. They just bought a EV space position, and they also have a huge Bitcoin mining position now at the ATL hyperscale data center. Yeah, they're in crypto mining, they're in technology, they're in EV, they're in a lot of things now.
Huh.
They just recently had a new order of miners. Where are they getting these miners? 3,500 miners. They didn't tell us which vendor. The PR just said they added 3,500 more miners.
Take it from me.
They had an
Take
upgrade.
it from me. They're not easier to get.
They just got a $45.
Oliver Caspi. Jerome Powell should go on
Yes,
vacation.
for sure. He 100% should go.
Well, hey, Roland, what merger is supposed to go through on the 31st? Roland, we're calling you out here, buddy. What merger?
What is he talking about?
I don't know. He says a merger is supposed to go through on the 31st.
Torchlight? Maybe Torchlight, which we're going to
Is he
get into.
talking about Torchlight?
It might be TRCH. It's possible.
Is this Meta?
Yeah, Meta and Torchlight. Torchlight is divesting their oil and gas assets, and they're gonna allocate all that money in the form of a special dividend.
All right. So why don't you take people through this? Because I know that we were long this stock. Where's it at right now, by the way?
220s.
Oh, so it's back down from where we
Yeah,
sold
they
it.
PR'd that the merger is going to be slightly delayed. The Meta wanted to give the shareholders some time to vote, an extra couple of weeks. Nothing's changed about the deal. You can find the if you look, you can look on Twitter and find the CEO of Meta talking about it. But it looks like Torchlight also owns 134 acres of land too, and all of that stuff's going to be divested and it's going to be issued out to Torchlight shareholders. And also, this is going to be, I guess it's a reverse takeover, is what it technically is.
Yeah, RTO.
Yeah, so it's going to be Meta and Torchlight. It'll be eventually a 1-to-1 share exchange, but currently Meta has about a 3-to-1 ratio of, Torchlight has about a 3-to-1 ratio of outstanding shares compared to Meta. So what's going to happen is,
What do they do? They're oil and gas?
yeah, they're oil and gas, but Meta is clean technology, green.
Oh,
So Torchlight's totally getting out of oil and gas.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's something to look at. You could see that there was anticipation of the merger being on time. And do you remember when Torchlight
it
ran
up
above
to $3?
$3?
Yeah, for sure.
So they sold that news. They got POW. Okay, yeah.
Wait. So wait a second. Roland's saying something I haven't heard. He's saying that we're going to get back to POWW.
Yeah, we're going
okay?
back to Torchlight.
So we'll come back to Torchlight in a second. POWW LOI CO says they are closing by the 21st.
31st.
Means the 31st.
Yeah.
You mean closing the LOI and signing a definitive? I mean, because they couldn't close the deal.
Right.
There's no way. There's no way the deal could be closed by then.
I don't think so.
We're going to look into that. If anybody else besides Roland has any information, obviously we'd love to confirm what he's saying. I think he probably means closing the LOI and getting into a definitive.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Oh, for sure.
Wow, that's not too far away.
So-
I hope Roland's right. Hey,
Yeah.
we don't know for sure, but hopefully he's right because we are long the stock. So let's get back to Torchlight. So what's
people
the
got-
play here? Because we sold this thing near $3.
The play is to load back up, in my opinion. So people got impatient and they took profits when it went over. It went to like $3.10, and because of the delay. So now it's like blah, just like we talked about.
All right, we're clearly not recommending it. We don't recommend stocks here, but I'm gonna look into Torchlight. We'll be back to you tomorrow on this one. If we sold some at 3 and you still think this is a play,
Oh, it's a play.
we got to figure this out for sure.
Yeah, for sure, it's a play.
What happened with Boeing
us.
today?
Nah, just blah.
Another blah. $10 isn't blah. Boeing.
Well-
hey, you could. Oh God, you know what? We got to figure out a new. Okay, get off the charts. We got to figure out a new way to get some charts here. I mean, I'm not kidding around.
Hey, so do you want to hear something kind of cool?
Sure.
LeBron James is going to be part owner of the Boston Red Sox.
How's that possible?
I don't know. I'm just getting news.
No, are they going public?
I don't know. I'm getting news about it like right now. It just happened. Partner of the Fenway Sports Group, making him a part owner of the Red Sox. First reported by the Boston Globe.
LeBron James is. Wait, really?
Yeah, pending MLB approval. I don't see where he wouldn't get approved for that.
They're gonna basically. He's buying into a sports team.
Yeah.
Similar to Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Michael
So-
Jordan owns what? The Bobcats.
Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And he has a nice golf course in Hope Sound, Florida. He got sick of dealing with the people. I think he was at Bears Club in Jupiter. He just went ahead and built his own golf course.
Huh. How do you feel about NFTs?
I don't even know about digital art and whatever that stuff is. I haven't even looked into it.
Let me tell you something. I saw Kara Swisher on NFTs, Richard C. I saw Kara Swisher yesterday on CNBC, and I think everyone should watch it because she proves a point, and that is the Mona Lisa is still worth, the original is still worth a lot of money, yet people copy it all the time, but the original proof of the original ownership is still worth money. So Jack Dorsey owned the first tweet at Twitter,
Right.
and so he had the right to sell it, and so someone can actually own the first tweet, and you can't really get away with that.
That's
you know?
crazy.
I know, but you can't deny that that's the case. And obviously, it could be printed on some sort of silk or something. He could sign it, but it is the same thing. As you're basically creating provenance, right? You're
Yeah.
saying here's the provenance for everything that you know. My buddy Steve, he used to run a authentication company, and he used to tell me that they had the provenance where the bats came from. He had the provenance
Yeah.
of Babe Ruth bat.
Oh, yeah.
The chain of custody, the chain of ownership. So it kind of makes sense to me. NFTs make sense to me for some reason.
I don't know. I'm call me old school. I want the actual original. Like, why do I want a Honus Wagner? Like,
But why can't there be an original digital?
nah, I'm not into that. No thanks. But
No, I know
but
you're
different.
not into it, but why can't there be an original
I'm not saying there's
digital?
not value in it, and there's not any trading value in as far as commerce. But that's just not for me. I would rather. I'm not going to want. if I go in my building in the gym and I bring my Pete Rose card, but it's a fake, it's like just a copycat Pete Rose card, am I going to feel bad to ask Pete to sign it? Like, hey, Pete, will you sign this fake Pete Rose card? Or, hey, Pete, will you sign your rookie card? Like, I don't know. I'm not in. It's just me.
Would you actually let him sign your rookie card? Because I thought rookie cards should be not signed.
I would get it authenticated. Yeah, it would be great.
You'd let him sign it.
Sure, I would. Yeah, but it just depends.
So you'd want a chain of custody, get authenticated.
Yeah, like
So NFTs make sense.
Like, yeah, he'd be doing some lat pull downs in the gym. I'd be like, hey, Pete, you need a spot? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hey, will you sign my rookie card too? Oh yeah, no
Do
problem.
you have a Pete Rose rookie card?
I do. Yeah, 63.
Why didn't you ask him?
I haven't yet. I don't want to bother him.
What does that mean?
In fact, I think it's in Florida though. Oh, most of my good cards are in Florida.
Why in Florida?
They're
Humidity?
they're just posted up at my mom's place, like in a secure place. I don't want to move them all across country.
Because you're not really kind of staying in Vegas, you think?
Well, I mean, I wasn't.
You may
going
move
to.
back?
I could move back. It's a forward-looking statement.
If you move back, what are you going to do with the show?
Do it from like.
Oh, dude.
Do it from the beach.
Dude.
Maybe you could go with us.
Hey, we're going to be live in Orange County this weekend.
Yeah. Speaking of that, remote.
No, we're going to be remote on Friday, and we're going to do our radio show remote too. What do you think of those apples?
I think it's going to be fun.
What else do we need to cover? Kind of the dog
I'm
days
getting some
of-
breaking news here.
Give me some breaking news.
Yeah,
So-
let's look into it. All right. It looks like. Where are we getting this?
Hey, we would appreciate if you subscribed always and ring the bell. If you get any value out of this, we want to hear from you for sure. Obviously, we appreciate the 22,000 people that have signed up to watch us. 22,000 people.
All right. It looks like
22,000 people?
Skyla's got us some breaking. Well, Skyla sent us the original LOI letter from to gunbroker.com.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, can we pull it up on the screen? So what's the original LOI? Skyla sent it to you, but Roland sent it to her. I
Right.
can tell you that for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just talking about 6 million users, 60 million revenue, 40 million EBITDA.
Well, that'd be great news. What does the LOI actually say? Hey, I don't know if you guys have read the LOI. I clearly did not, and I put a lot of money to work, so shame on me.
Well, we did read it. We just didn't have
We just
a
didn't pay
date.
attention to it, right? What are you thinking? What's it say?
I don't see a date.
Well, he wouldn't have sent it to you if there wasn't a date.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I just see the date of the LOI was February 9th. So it's been a little over a month.
Right. So here you go. Let's go. Hey, Nick, let's go back to the screen here. Here you go. About a $9 stock price, $8.96 on February 16th. That's after the announcement of gunbroker.com.
Right.
Which was February 9th, right? February 10th.
Correct.
And since then, they raised $100 million down at 5 where you couldn't even trade it unless you were an institution or had an X. The stock's pulled back 30%.
Yeah.
I'm liking where I'm at.
Oh, it's great.
Right.
And I like CleanSpark. It's the same scenario.
So the scenario is they raised $100 million. What do you think the chances they get gunbroker.com?
Very likely.
If you're gunbroker.com, you probably want to do that deal, right? You're the owners. You want to get paid?
I would say, yeah, 75% chance or higher.
Really?
Yeah, that'd be a safe bet.
Right. I'm a fan for sure.
Closing date, transaction on or before March 31st. That's what the LOI says.
The closing date?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. Let me make sure. Yeah.
Wow, maybe they're working on a definitive.
Pursuant to the terms of the LOI, the parties intend to sign a definitive agreement and work expeditiously to close the transaction on or before March 31st.
Holy smokes.
Wow. Thanks for that, Roland.
Roland. Cutting edge, buddy.
Gunbroker.com
Appreciate it.
enterprise value is approximately $240 million.
Right. Well, that's a big deal. Let's see if that happens. So you feel like the stock's higher if that happens?
Oh my God, it's going to go. Yeah, because they're actually taking the money that they raised.
Some of it. They're spending $13 million, I think, on the Wisconsin property.
Well, the gunbroker.com deal will be over the amount they raised.
Well, they're probably issuing some
Shares,
stock,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
Right.
But yeah.
And that stock is probably going to be restricted.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's great because the money they're raising is going directly to shareholder value. I mean, it's not going to like
Got
general
it.
corporate purposes or any of this fluff.
Right.
It's like when just in the marketplace in general, like say for example, I take my stimulus money, $1,400 large, right?
Did you get $1,400?
Let's just say I did.
You got it?
Let's just say I did.
Skylar says she didn't get hers.
As an example.
Of course, she hasn't filed her tax return. So
Okay, so
yeah,
what if I
that
just
won't-
take that $1,400
I talked to Roland about that.
and I move it to silver? I just buy silver.
Oh, right.
That would be okay, right?
right.
I'm not really blowing the money, just buying some shiny metal. So-
Nick, did you get a stimulus check?
Any words on GE Neo?
He did ask about INPX.
Oh, let's
You
look
know
at
that,
it.
Man? Let's look at it, man.
That's a
That's a
biotech.
viewer questionnaire. He asked us about this stock.
I've
already.
traded this like years ago. Yeah,
Wow.
in Pixon. Let's take a look at this
What
one.
the heck is this? Let's pull up the screen there, Nick. In Pixon.
NASDAQ fighting to stay compliant. $1.25. Let's see here. Market cap.
Let's look at the 1 year to date.
Hold on. Let's look at this. Let's look a deeper dive into this thing.
Whoa. 19 cents year to date. Thing ran to $2.30 back in February.
92-cent range to 289.
What do they do?
Shares outstanding 83 million float. Let's take a look what they do. In Pixon, actually, it's not a biotech. It's an indoor intelligence company. The company offers positioning, mapping, and analytic products to secure, digitize, and optimize indoor spaces. So its indoor intelligence platform uses sensor technology to detect accessible cellular, wireless, fidelity, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, ultraband, and radio frequency identification, RFID.
Huh.
Okay.
Wow. Over my pay grade.
Interesting.
So is
So
this
this-
a 5G company?
Yeah, it looks like they will have GPS,
Wow.
on-device blue dot indoor location. No, it doesn't say anything about 5G. But I do know this. It was fighting as one of the only NASDAQ tickers under $1 for a while.
Really?
Yeah, so now it's $1.24. Did they regain compliance? Let's just take a little look at this thing here.
We're going to have to take a little bit of a deeper dive than just on
Yeah.
the radio, this
No, I'll look at it a
2-second
little
view
more.
of them. Hey, a couple things to know that I've been buying back, and I want to go over with the home gamers here. I bought GWAC back today, just around. I'll tell you what my cost is. I bought some around $11. I'm long about 10,000 shares of. Remember GWAC?
Yep, it's a SPAC, going to be Cipher Mining. I
Cipher
sure do.
mining, yeah, for sure.
I would.
So I bought some GWAC back today. As I said, I bought it after I sold the whole position. I bought some RKT in the hole at 25. And believe it or not, look at that. See that name right there?
Yes, I see it.
Only a little bit.
A little bit.
I dabbled in some Riot today. It's the first time I put a Riot trade on in about a week, I think.
But no CLSK, huh? No CleanSpark for me, huh?
I'll have to look at CleanSpark. I don't understand. So you get names out of the blue I'd never heard of. I mean,
How do you know? They just got upgraded to $45 target price. You never heard of it. It's an $800 million company.
I don't know what they do.
I just told you what they do.
This show's we're a little messy today here.
That's okay.
It's not like I know every ticker on the traded on the exchange.
Oh, no, it's no problem.
Is it?
I mean, I told you what they did. They raised capital. They're buying more miners, tons of miners.
So why don't we go over this new biotech? What do they do?
Which one is it?
AEZS.
Oh, yeah, AEZS.
AEZS.
It kind of sold off. It had momentum in the morning.
AEZS.
I think a lot of people thought it was AstraZeneca for some reason. They started selling it. It was the weirdest thing. Look at the name.
How do you pronounce it?
Aterna Zentaris.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds official.
Yeah, they have
Wow.
they have a pediatric patient's growth hormone drug. It's also that's phase 3. Phase 3 trial is actually commencing now for pediatric patients.
Nick, can you bring that up? That's the year to date.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that chart here? This thing was 50 cents. They're on the NASDAQ, right? So they weren't compliant.
Right.
And then in February, they rocketed to around 340.
Yep.
And now they're back to $1.38. Why do you like it?
They also have a
Nick, can you stay on the chart for me?
they have a potential COVID vaccine license agreement. So that's another reason I like it. They signed a exclusive license agreement and research contract with Julius Maximilians University, and that's in Germany, I believe. So that's a potential oral bacterial vaccine against COVID-19. So that was one thing they have in the pipeline.
Did they raise capital?
They have raised capital. I think they raised capital around February 5th, if I recall correctly. I definitely 29.7 million bought deal. February 22nd.
We're not recommending the stock, by the way.
But yeah, I just
But we are long some.
that one in CLBS, the two biotechs that we have right now. Full disclosure.
Yeah, let's go to CLBS. I added to CLBS.
You know
today,
the
too.
walls. Yeah, that one's just been. It's in accumulation mode. CLBS.
I added to CLBS today too.
Yeah, it was down today because of the market, but it's been being accumulated, consolidating for the last week or so in the 205 to 220 range.
Here's the 1 month I can barely bring up on the screen. Nick, can you pull it up for me? Huh. So it's down 32 cents in a month, about $2 a share.
Yeah,
They have a bunch of orphan drugs, right?
they do. They've got a pretty decent pipeline for a $2
So your
stock.
theory is you're hoping for a pop
For a
with
pop.
FDA approvals,
Yep.
right?
Yep, it'll be like, if you look at SAVA, that was like a $5 or $6 stock,
was a
and
pop.
then it rocketed to 128.
Yeah, but that was because of Alzheimer's, though,
Right, of course.
Right.
But I mean, any FDA approvals, you just got to track where they're at in their phases.
Hey, if we seem a little down to you, it's because we're pretty frustrated with some of our trading today.
Yeah.
Now, we should be happy we're up and made some money, but we're probably pretty frustrated with the internal workings of the trading group and some of the delivery of stock and maybe some of the broker-dealers, right?
Yeah, and I'm a little frustrated because Kim Jong-un is trending.
Why is he trending?
Because he won't take a meeting with Joe Biden. So
He just wants Trump back in office.
he does. He wants him
His
to step
buddy.
back into North Korea. They could play a little, they can maybe play a little baccarat or something.
So what do we got going on the agenda for gambling now? Things are opening back up.
Well, I can't play the double deck game with 104 cards where they cut them. I think what's crazy about blackjack is for those of you that play, there's certain rules on the Vegas Strip that aren't very conducive to the player. For example, when you get a blackjack on the Strip, generally speaking, they pay you a 6 to 5. Versus when you leave the Strip and play at the other casinos off the Strip, they pay you 3 to 2. So it's a big difference there. And then also some of the other rules on the Strip aren't conducive. They won't let you split more than twice.
So when you're counting cards, Jason, when you're playing blackjack, do you like to play with one deck or you like to play with 6?
No, I like to play with 2 decks.
2 decks.
Yeah, one deck they won't offer you a 3 to 2 payout on blackjack. So like for example, if you bet $25, 3 to 2 blackjack pays you $37.50. 3 to 6 to 5 blackjack pays you $30. See the difference, and you start betting more and more. It's really emphasized. So yeah, double deck. Preferably dealer stays on soft 17, but that's tough to find. All the other rules.
You want the dealer to stay on a soft 17?
Yeah, it's like a 0.2% advantage to the player if the dealer stays on soft 17.
Where they mandatorily have to stay.
Yeah, if they get an ace and a 6, they just have to stay. Okay? That's a soft 17, so they just have to stay. Where on the Strip, they're hitting that. And over the long run, if you play a million hands, that gives the house an extra 0.2% edge. It doesn't seem like much, but let's think about this for a second.
I always played where the dealer had a hit on a 17.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. But
Right.
if you leave the Strip, you can find some places where they stay on the soft 17. So if you play...
And that gives the player an advantage versus the dealer
Yeah.
taking a card
Yeah,
on
when you take
17?
an extra card there, you're actually increasing the house edge by about 0.2%. And you can do the math, or you can think about it visually. If you have, 5 million tourists, and they all play, 1,000 hands of blackjack, and that 0.2% then is really magnified. So that goes right to the bottom line of the casinos.
Got it.
So...
Makes sense.
Producer, what does it do to your odds with 2 decks? Oh, so with 2 decks, you can control your play a little bit more. If you're an advantage player, you can realize your equity more because you can figure out what's left in the remaining cards because there's less cards versus like a 6-deck shoe where there are so many cards left in the deck. So it just comes down to a math game and your ability to track cards, basically. I'll just leave it at that.
Your ability to guess how many cards are in the deck.
Your ability to assign value to the cards. I don't want to come out and just say the exact strategy, but yeah, your ability to assign a value. You guys are all smart out there. You can do YouTube searches, Google searches, figure out what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, yeah.
But what's upcoming in terms of any poker tournaments or
Well,
things
I
like
can
that?
barely get sleep now. What we're doing And if you want to go play like $1,000 tournament, I would recommend that you get a good night's sleep because you're going to play against some pretty good opponents. And there are tournaments right now that we could play, but it takes time.
But with Vegas opening back up, what's happening? Do you
Oh,
know?
yeah, there's plenty of tournaments. Venetian right now. Matter of fact, if I were to look at my phone right now and look at the Venetian, I'll just give you an example. The Wynn is also having great tournaments right now. So if you or I were to motor over to the Venetian right now, we would probably miss registration. But let me just give you an example of what we're looking
We'd
at.
miss registration.
Yeah, we would miss it. But right now, at the Venetian, beautiful casino, we could go and look, and there is a Event 20 $400 buy-in monster stack, 265 entries times $400.
Wow.
That's over $100,000 prize pool.
Have you been asked to stop playing in Atlantic City JDWS?
AC, I haven't played any blackjack there. I played some poker at Borgata. No, I've only been backed off at the M, but I don't usually play blackjack because in Florida,
Wait, someone brought up. Go ahead.
it's 6-deck shoes, and they're really, really uptight about spreading your bet any more than like double or triple. They would like flip out.
Someone brought up FRD. Jeff Bombshell. Is that
FRD.
How do you say his last
Oh,
name?
U.S. Steel. Oh, yeah, yeah, I am tilted about missing U.S. Steel. Let's see.
How do you bring? What did you say?
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Let's check. I mean, I miss
Is
Cleveland
that really
Cliffs.
his name? Because that's a great name.
Let's
dude.
see what Jeff's got to say here. FRD.
Yeah, I tell you, Jeff, if FRD is the same stock I'm thinking of, I'm a pretty big fan.
Ooh,
It is
that's a
on
nice
my list.
consolidation there.
Hold on a second. Is it on my list here? It is. Okay, so I looked at this stock a couple weeks ago. It has paid a dividend forever. We talked about this.
Oh, this is a low floater.
Yeah, but we talked about this stock.
Yeah.
They actually had a great quarter. They sell rolled steel and coiled steel.
Right.
And they had 30 cents in earnings for the third quarter. I'm actually a fan of this trade. I
Yeah.
actually like it a lot. I actually was looking at it. I was actually looking at the stock as a maybe a bigger hold.
Yeah,
I was a pretty big fan of FRD.
why are they so cheap?
They make steel.
Yeah.
I believe they're in Alabama.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Wow, yeah, Decatur.
Yeah.
And Arkansas also.
For
and
sure.
Texas. What, man, I need to look at
Jeff,
this.
where'd
Hey,
you pull
Jeff,
that
thanks
out
a
of?
lot, dude.
No, what do you mean? Thanks a lot. I had it a month ago.
Yeah, but I don't remember it.
I brought it up to you and said, dude, we could buy 10% of the company.
I looked at
it was like below $7.
I don't remember that one.
Dude,
Just like you don't remember
What,
some
Jeff
of the stuff.
decides to send a little tweet, a little text, and you're all of a sudden thanking Jeff, and I brought it to you a month ago.
Jiffy Jeff, thank you, buddy.
Dude, FRD is interesting. It has not, I don't want to get this wrong. Jeff probably knows better than I do, but I think that they had not missed a trade they had not missed a trade. They had not missed a dividend in like something like 31 years, some ridiculous. We're going to look that up. Jeff's saying it trades well below
Yeah.
book value. It does, yes. I looked at it, Jeff. You're right, for sure.
Wow.
FRD.
I
Hey, I
like
wanted to cover something. We're going to liven the show up a little bit. I'm sorry we're a little down. We kind of blew it,
You know what? It's not our fault. So listen,
I know, but
you
it doesn't matter. You take responsibility.
No, I know. You do the due diligence. You take your money that's already been taxed. You invest it in a ticker, and then you're just like, okay, it's time to cash out. I've waited my turn, and now we can't cash out.
I really want. I'm going to spend 2 minutes on a soapbox. Okay, so there's a thing called NSCC, and it overrules broker dealers and the guaranteeing of a trade. So when you buy a stock at a broker dealer, you pay for it, but it doesn't settle for 2 days, so the broker dealer has to poke collateral at NSCC. Now, usually they have a deposit at NSCC, but if the stock is volatile and there's a lot of trading going on, they ask for an extra deposit.
Right.
This can put a broker dealer out of business. They do the same thing when they sell it. So when it has volatility, they ask for more money to ensure the clearance of the trade in case you don't pay. It is complete nonsense because when you go to sell a stock, you already own it in your account. The government, in my opinion, has to work on this settlement, how quickly stocks settle, T+1, T+2, T+3. In my days, when I first started, it was T+5.
That's crazy.
And you could get an extension of up to a week.
Yeah, but you're writing up slips with like 8 1/4, 8 1/8.
That's what it was like.
This crazy stuff. How did
53 3/4.
Dude, how did
52.
anything get done then?
Right. And so the point I'm making here is that we are caught up with a broker-dealer that has a lot of volatility in some of its positions and could not post up all the collateral it needed.
Wait a minute. Time out. I'm sorry.
What, you're interrupting?
Yes, Supreme Court Justice Kennedy just retired.
Wow.
What is this?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Have you heard it here first or what?
I'm just looking at Twitter.
Is Kennedy retiring?
What in the world? Justice Kennedy long live enough to see all public goodwill around his judicial career evaporate completely. Wow, this looks like... Yeah, it looks also like Justice Kennedy abrupt retirement.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, those of you who follow our channel, check out Wall Street Words. I give definitions there all the time. I don't know. If you need a definition, we probably have about 200 or 300 up there, right? And we're adding a lot more all the time. Justice Kennedy,
Weird.
right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Did he retire?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Well, this will be a big deal.
I remain very curious about the timing of Kennedy's retirement. Kennedy's son was the guy who... this all kinds of stuff
Did he
going on.
really retire?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, can you look that up for us, please? Did Justice Kennedy retire? That'll be a big deal, right? I mean, you were talking about...
Oh, wait, did he already retire?
Joe Biden.
For some reason, I was thinking of...
I guess we're making fools of ourselves here.
no,
We probably should stick to stocks.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the story?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It could be fake news. I don't know.
You're backing off here.
Anyway.
What do you want to cover in the last 5 minutes?
What are we going to do?
I feel like we want to get out of the broadcast.
No,
today.
what are we going to do tomorrow? Are we going to be able to sell anything tomorrow?
We will probably.
Yeah,
I hope
okay.
so. Hopefully it's still up by then.
All right.
I saw it at 4.5 down in the aftermarket.
Yeah, I don't even want to lose. Today was just a waste, in my opinion. It was terrible.
Was it?
It's frustrating.
Frustrating day.
Very frustrating.
What do you like for Lee Long? You like CLSK for some reason.
For sure. Once the offering closes, I would have liked to start a position today with it. TRCH for sure. Those are the two that I wanted to look at. That would be a little bit longer of a swing trade for both of those.
Sure.
And then I just want to look back at a couple of the silver miners that have just been sitting there blah. Just want to revisit them.
So our theme is blah. It's a blah market.
Yep.
It's a blah day. What?
Yeah, I said he announced that he's retired on Wednesday. You announced it on Wednesday. that he's retired.
Okay, Justice Kennedy is retiring. That is breaking news that he just announced it on Wednesday that he's going to retire. That's going to open up the spot for wait a second here. You got a Senate that's tied here,
Yeah.
right? So you got Biden to be able to right out of the gate appoint a Supreme Court justice.
Why didn't Merrick Garland's going to be he's Attorney General, though? That was his pick, remember? Or that was Obama's pick, I guess.
That was Obama's pick.
Yeah.
And then Garland became Attorney General.
Yep.
And so now there's going to be an opening for. Do you think he puts Obama on the Supreme Court?
Oh, my God. Now, that's some soapbox. That's some...
Does Obama go on the Supreme Court? I mean, I've heard that before.
That's crazy.
What do you think, Hillary Clinton?
No. It's going to be
Come on.
Rudy Giuliani.
Hey, what's going on in the market tomorrow? What are you thinking? Blah?
More blah because of the FOMC, because of Jerome Powell. I mean, they love this stuff. These narcissists, they love to just intervene in the markets. One person controlling. I remember when, it's been the same for as long as I've been alive. They meet 8 times a year, and you can count on this nonsense. But yeah, the real concern though, interest rates are a concern for sure, and inflation is a concern. Growth as far as job numbers, all this stuff, they're all concerns. Especially the monetary policy and the printing of fiat currency. All this stuff is in play for Bitcoin. It's in play for precious metals. So yeah, let's get them out of the way tomorrow and see what happens.
I'm hearing that Biden is going to hold his first press conference.
I thought he had like
the 25th of March. That's an actual press conference where they ask questions, not a speech.
Oh, okay.
Actual press conference.
Yeah, gotcha. Because right now he runs out that circle back Jen Psaki lady. And she just looks terrible up there. She just gets abused all day. You ever seen that?
No.
There's circle back memes where she doesn't have an answer.
Hey, I wanted to finish on one little note here about the market. We think it's kind of a blah market. There's going to have to be some sort of break. Really looking at, there is a border crisis going on.
Huge.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
During the show. We'll spend a few minutes on that. I see CNN and a lot of the Democratic channels talking about that it is kind of revving up.
It's huge. That's a huge crisis.
What's your thesis? We have in the last minute or so. What's your thesis on what happened? So Trump leaves, and then what happens? So Biden does what? That all of a sudden? Because I heard a Democrat start to say, oh, we inherited this problem.
No, the wall's been built. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but right now they changed the policy as far as bringing people into the country. It's just a total 180.
Yeah, I heard that basically a lot of people down in Mexico believe now that Biden's softer on this and letting people in.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate your time. A little bit of a lull in the show today. Kind of a dull show. It's March 16th. It's the 31st episode. We appreciate your time. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay well.